Let's just jump into the stock market. So if we look at the stock market, generally like to look at Ally Bank. It's a good indicator of kind of what the rest of the market is kind of doing. As you see, it's been underwater. It's been playing around with the 50 moving average here, and touching in and kind of dropping, touching, dropping, so that's kind of what's going on right now. It looks like it's consolidating around this zone where it previously had was resistance, back here, but we'll see what happens with that. So we continue on and we'll take a look at Amazon. So Amazon, if we look at Amazon and we look at how much it could recover if this happened to be the bottom, again, we're still below the 50, so we're not going to be trying to find a way to jump into this. We will continue to consider this in a downtrend and look for downward trend movement. But if it were to go back, let me see if I can find the top here. Roughly the top is right about here. You're looking at 80% gain on Amazon. So, and the other thing is we have a gap here. So as you know, generally with gaps, that shows that there was no price action really right there, and that wouldn't be fair to the people who maybe had orders here. So eventually it's got to come back and try to fill that gap and show that we were at least attempting to create a fair market. Let's look at AMD. AMD, let's see, looking at 137%, just from where it is now. Again, this could go lower, but right now what we're doing is just measuring the potential. General Motors, just to get back to this point here, would be 100% on General Motors. So as you see, these are huge gains. If you're talking in the markets where 20% is a lot, like if these come back and roar back, you're going to see some massive gains in 1 year. If they happen in 1 year, it could take 2 years or whatever, but these are the percentages that exist. Here's Meta, Facebook. Look at this huge gap in price right here. It's not fair to leave traders out who are trying to get in this range. So you would think price will eventually come up into that gap. This is 162% to the top. Ford Motor Company, 100% to get back here. Again, there's no guarantee that it will ever come back. We're looking at the moving average. We'll gauge what's happening as it's happening. Square, you're looking at 300, 400, almost 400% there. PayPal. So let's take a look at PayPal. So a lot of folks have been kind of watching PayPal, and again, we got a few gaps here as well in PayPal. These are daily gaps, huge gaps. So to be fair, the market makers need to come back up and make sure that they touched all of these gaps and allow people to trade in that area. So let's just take a look. Just again, I'm only measuring from the bottom of where it is currently. That's 348% from where it is currently to get back to the highs that it previously had. If it goes lower, then the percentages is going to increase. Let's see, you got Upstart, 1,000% on Upstart. If we look at SoFi, so SoFi is kind of interesting. Right now, it's underwater. It's below the 50 moving average. And as we look at the percentages, the potential percentages, because the thing that's interesting about SoFi is the only place for it to go is to zero. It's so close to zero. It's $6. So getting down to zero, you would think, okay, is SoFi worth nothing? Will somebody buy it? I guess if it gets that low at a discount, but for it to go to zero just seems kind of far-fetched. But right now, it has hit the $6 mark. It's looking like it may dip down to maybe this $4 mark. But if it ever goes down as low as the $2 mark, you're looking at huge gains. At the $4 mark is 500% to get back to previous highs. It's over 1,000% to get back to previous highs if it goes to $2. So folks are going to be excited about the potential opportunity to invest in these companies at these discounted prices. Again, we're still below the 50 moving average, so it is no reason to have any upward price targets at this time. Most price targets should be to the downside, but hopefully, the market will recover and we'll see some of that upward movement. Netflix. People always count Netflix out, and Netflix always seems to answer back. But look at these huge gaps again. Huge gaps, daily gaps. These are prices where the market maker did not trade this stock. The question is, will they come back and trade these areas in order to show that they had a fair market, that they didn't just jump over everybody's orders overnight, and that they're never coming back to those. So we do have quite a few areas that could get filled in. Again, still below the 50 moving average, underwater at this point, under the 200 EMA watermark, and so we'll wait and see exactly what happens, but potential for 300% gains if the market, just the overall market, starts to recover. DraftKings, a lot of people really don't like DraftKings as a stock, and it's understandable why. At least it's really been kind of a bad investment all the way up here at $52, all the way down here now at $13. But using our method, just simple method, 50 day moving average has always been below that. There's no reason to invest. Now, some people invest when they see consolidation. That's, if they're dollar cost averaging, I guess that's fine. They maybe would have got in, bought some here, and maybe if it goes down further and consolidates, they'll buy some in the new consolidation zone. But for now, you can see it's not really the time to get in. It is starting to squeeze a bit here, with some support showing here, and the being really close to that EMA. So the question here is, as we watch it, will it continue to drop down with some pressure, or will it finally break up? So, but the main thing here, and again, a lot of folks don't like DraftKings as an investment, but if it does recover, you're looking at over 600%, if it recovers. So let's see. Yeah, over 600%, almost 700%. That's huge. AMC, again, everybody has been talking about this. You kind of see what it has done. At some point it was bullish, then it turned bearish again. Right now it's going bullish again. So we are below the watermark though, but it is kind of close to it. So is there a potential that it will come up and try to come out of the water here, or go above the 200-day moving average watermark or not? But as far as the potential, just to get back to the highs of before, is 600%. So a lot of people are excited about that. So I just want to show you those few things, really. I mean, there's tons of stocks, of course, in the stock market.